Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Educational AD Podcast. We're going to be right back with today's guest, but first, let's give a shout out to all of our sponsors. It's only going to take 3 minutes. Don't hit that fast forward button. These are all great companies. I used them. You should be using them too. So stay with us, listen to our shout outs, then listen to our interview, and then go and visit these sponsors. I'm telling you, you're going to be glad you did. Here we go. We want to say thanks to our good friends at Sideline Interactive, indoor score tables and video boards. Go to sidelineinteractive.com. Check out their great products and schedule a live web demo to see them in action. Probably one of the best purchases I ever made. That's sidelineinteractive.com. Don't forget to mention the podcast. We also want to thank Huddle. As a football coach, I used Huddle for years, but as an athletic director, I made sure that our school was a Huddle school. And our coaches just loved the tools that Huddle provided. Our student athletes loved the videos, and our parents loved the streaming, but there's a lot more. Go to huddle.com, join the 8 million users, turn your school into a Huddle school. We also want to thank our friends at Snap Mobile. Have you ever spent weeks and weeks with a fundraiser and been disappointed in the results? Well, those days are gone. Go to snapraise.com. We used it at our school, tremendous success, and you will too. Go to snapraise.com. Check out their other great platforms. But if you're looking for a fundraiser, you just found it, and it's Snap Raise. We want to say thanks to our good friends at Home Campus. Home Campus is a platform that you're going to use every single day, whether it's scheduling, rosters, results. I use the athletic clearance and eligibility platform, and it's fantastic. Go to homecampus.com for more information. Don't forget to mention the podcast. We also want to thank our good friends at Gipper. Go to Gipper.com. Start creating world-class content for your school's social media channel in seconds. Whether it's a simple social media post to recognize a victory or an entire newsletter that's going to showcase all the great things your department's doing, the team at Gipper will have you up and running in no time. It's professional graphic design made easy. Go to Gipper.com for more information. We also want to thank Vital Signs Wall of Fame. If you're looking for a really cool way to display your school record boards or show off your school's Hall of Fame, go to Vital Signs Wall of Fame and take a look at their interactive touchscreen video consoles. You got to see it to believe it. You put one of these in your gym lobby, it's going to be a magnet for kids, coaches. How about sponsors? Go to vitalsignswalloffame.com. Check out their products today. We also want to thank Ohio University and their online masters in athletic administration. My assistant AD, along with thousands of others, got his master's through the Ohio program, and it was great. Go to Ohio University's website, check out their online masters in athletic administration. We also want to say thanks to our good friends at Hometown. Hometown's not just online ticketing anymore. They still got it, but there's a lot more. And they're changing the game for schools and leaders with their solutions for things like digital ticketing, but also fee-free fundraising. How about athletic website construction and a whole lot more? Whether you're an athletic director, a coach, or a school administrator, Hometown is going to show you how they can help you save time, raise more money, and a lot more. Go to hometown.com. You want to bring your community together? Go to hometown.com. We also want to say thanks to our friends at Athletic Surveys. Athletic directors already get feedback, but a lot of times it's from a very small group that just wants to complain. Go to athleticsurveys.com. They're going to create a custom survey that lets you take the pulse of everybody in your program. That's athleticsurveys.com. Don't forget to mention the podcast, athleticsurveys.com. Hey, welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Educational AD Podcast. We're staying right here in Florida today, but we've got a tremendous guest. We're going to be visiting with Erica Mulholland. She has an incredible background in athletics, three-time All-American in college, Hall of Fame athlete. She's a successful author ×2 and a lot of other things. Erica Mulholland, welcome to the Educational AD Podcast.
Thanks for having me.
Well, Again, you and I were talking before we started recording. I really love your posts and your site and the things that you're doing. But we always like to start out by letting our listeners have a chance to get to know our guests. So give us your quick bio, where you were born, where you grew up. Maybe take us up through those all-American college days, and then we'll take a break. But what's the Erica Mulholland origin story?
Yeah, so I started playing soccer when I was 6 years old, but I also dabbled in other sports. So I really fell in love with just being active as a young kid and just always loved exercising and moving around and playing outside. And I just kind of developed this love for soccer as I was getting older. And eventually I picked it as my main sport when I got into high school. And that's when I started to get serious about playing in college. So I waited till around age 13 to stop playing rec and get into travel, which is very different nowadays. But I got recruited to play at Johns Hopkins University. I turned down several Division I offers because I just felt it wasn't for me. I chose the D3 route because I wanted an academic school. I wanted a smaller school, and I also really liked the team and coach at Hopkins. So that was a big sell for me. Played all 4 years, was captain my senior year, graduated, didn't really know what I wanted to do. So I went to Brazil to play semi-professionally, and I also coached down there, lived there for an entire year. And then when I got back to the States, I was like, I really want to get into coaching full time. I love working with youth. I love impacting the next generations. And I also did strength and conditioning pretty much my entire soccer career. So I really wanted to share the power of strength and conditioning to the next generations of female athletes.
Wow, we're going to dive into some of the coaching that you do now in a later segment. I want to go back to, let's say, those rec days, middle school, going into high school. You mentioned that you did other sports, and I know that soccer is one of those sports that I guess tends to lead to specialization in the high school days. Obviously, you were an outstanding athlete in those other sports. Looking back, do you think you would have been able to still achieve all the great things that you did at the collegiate level in soccer had you still played, let's say, volleyball or ran track in the spring? I know it's a tough question, but I like to ask it of elite athletes.
Mhm. Yeah, well, I really think just playing all those sports just helped my main sport eventually. I mean, I played lacrosse, which helped with my agility and endurance. So there's a lot of transfer to soccer. I also did gymnastics and ballet. So I was really building my foundation of balance and coordination and just awareness of my body, which you also need in soccer. And just beyond that, I was also just doing a lot of games in the neighborhood. I mean, we were playing baseball, capture the flag. We were doing tackle football. So I was getting comfortable with contact and being aggressive. And soccer is a contact sport. So just all these games, I just gained this like rich library of movement literacy to be able to play soccer. And I'm really thankful for that. And I saw the physical benefits when I started to specialize in soccer in high school. And I look back on my youth and I can't even imagine a world where I didn't do all those activities. And now I'm seeing when I work with youth, more youth girls are starting to pick soccer by age 6. And they're not even exposing themselves to other sports or other team environments, or they're not moving as much outside. I can't even imagine if I didn't grow up with that, because not only did I see the physical benefits, but I also saw the mental benefits. I learned how to be a teammate with different personalities in different settings. I learned from different coaches and authority leaders. I was just being able to adapt to new environments. I mean, these are some really key life skills that you need. And I think specialization is way deeper than the overuse injury problem. I mean, yes, overuse injuries are a huge problem, but I think the mental health component to specialization early is something that not a lot of people are really touching on, which is why I try to preach my message of trying as much as you can young and just enjoying. I think fun is often missed too. I never really took sports like too seriously until high school when I started doing travel. I was just falling in love with them organically, and my parents were never pressuring me to go to soccer practice or you need to do soccer and pick this sport and do it year round. It never was that. And it makes me sad that this is common now. So I'm just trying to spread the message the best I can that kids just need to get a variety, have fun, and just enjoy.
Boy, that sound that you hear is all of our listeners, athletic directors and coaches just applauding, saying, yes, that's the message that we're trying to get out. Um, let's go back a little bit to your college days. Now, obviously, you're very successful. And you mentioned D3, Johns Hopkins, pretty well-known program with some success. As you were playing and, having success as an individual, as well as a member of a team, you became a captain. Were you thinking, career? Well, I'm going to do X, Y, or Z. Were you thinking of a way? How can I stay involved in the sport? What was your thought process, as maybe junior, senior year in college?
Oh my gosh, I had no clue what I wanted to do. It was crazy. I was an economics and international studies major in college. I mean, I guess I'm using some of that now because I run a business, but so it's not totally wasted. But I think senior year I was starting to consider it because I think the idea of getting into coaching when you get after getting a Johns Hopkins education sounds completely crazy, right? Like a lot of my teammates and girls I'm still friends with now, they're all doctors, they own their own dental practice, they're OBGYNs, like it's crazy. And here I am like working in youth sports, but I graduated and when I went to Brazil, I just knew I was like, this is what I want to do. And I love coaching kids. I just love sharing the message of being healthy and strength training and just getting into good habits young. I think you can impact kids a lot as a youth coach. Working in the pros, working in college with older athletes never appealed to me. I did do my internship in college strength and conditioning during my master's degree in exercise science, but I did not like it at all. I would rather hang out with kids. But yeah, it was really that Brazil trip that did it for me. And I'm so glad I took the leap because soccer's just been a huge part of my life. Strength and conditioning has been a huge part of my life. And I was going to figure out, regardless, how to turn this into something full time. And there was really no plan B. I was like, I'm just going to do it because I feel like this is my purpose and this is my calling.
No, I love it. I was the same way. All I knew when I was in college 100 years ago was that I didn't want to work for a living. And I can coach. Well, you probably have to teach. Okay, I can do that, but I just didn't want to work in the real world, and I was able to do that for 41 years. Uh, let's go and take our first break. Again, our guest today is Erica Mulholland. She's a successful author, entrepreneur. We're going to hear all about that and more. But let's take that first break, hear from some of our sponsors. This is the Educational AD Podcast. We want to thank our good friends at Sideline Interactive, indoor score tables and video boards, for their support. Go to sidelineinteractive.com. You can schedule a live web demo to see their products in action. Probably one of the best purchases I ever made was our Sideline Interactive indoor score table. Go to sidelineinteractive.com. Don't forget to mention the podcast for more information. We also want to say thank you to our good friends at Snap Mobile. Have you ever spent weeks and weeks with a fundraiser and been disappointed in the results? Those days are gone. Go to snapraise.com. We used it at our school, tremendous success. Coaches loved it, parents loved it. I'm telling you, it works. Go to snapraise.com. You can check out all of their other great platforms. But if you're looking for a fundraiser, you just found it, and it's Snap Raise. We also want to say thanks to Huddle. As a football coach, I used Huddle for years, but when I became an athletic director, I made sure that our school was a Huddle school, and our coaches, all of our coaches, just loved the tools that Huddle provided. Our student athletes love the videos, and our parents love the streaming, but there's so much more. Go to huddle.com, join the 8 million users, and find out how to turn your school into a Huddle school. That's huddle.com. Welcome back, everybody, to the Educational AD podcast. Once again, our guest is Erica Mulholland. Um, Erica, you shared a little bit, very successful college soccer career. I'm going to go and mention it. Three-time All-American, also been inducted into their Hall of Fame. You played some semi-pro soccer, but I think you probably had a little bit of a vision and idea. Share with our listeners that journey from maybe initial idea to the fruition and your company and the books and everything that we're going to talk about in the next segment.
Yeah, sure. So when I got back from Brazil, I started doing soccer skills training. I was working a full-time job in marketing, and I enjoyed it, but I just knew I still wanted to coach. So I was kind of doing it on the side. And I did it for several months and then eventually got to a point where I could go full time into training. So I went all in on that and it just really spread through word of mouth. I mean, I'm really grateful for the timing that I got in because I was one of the only female coaches doing skills training in the area. I had a background in playing at a high level, and then I also had a background in exercise science and injury prevention. So, a lot of parents of young girls, especially, really wanted to work with me to help their daughter. So, I kind of just organically grew into that youth female athlete niche because I just really wanted to solve a problem because a lot of the problems that kept coming up with parents were overuse injuries in their daughters or just fearful of getting an ACL tear. And then on the performance side, really wanting their girl to get faster and stronger and just feel more confident in herself. So I really went all into that niche. And then I stopped kind of skills training because I was realizing I was part of the early specialization problem and just all this like soccer, soccer, soccer. So I went full into just doing the off the ball work, strength training in the gym, speed development, and agility. And I've been doing it for over 13 years, which is really crazy because it's it's gone by so fast. And the more I'm in this, I will say the more challenging it gets because I deal with a lot of pressure from parents. The pressure is a lot higher on coaches to perform, get quick fixes, instant results fast. And I think people are just like so sucked into this instant gratification culture. So that has become more challenging. But the more challenges presented, the longer I do this, the more I fall in love with it, which is really crazy because you would think it would annoy me, but I love a challenge and I love educating parents because I just think they're getting the wrong information online. And I just really want to be that voice that strength, speed, and conditioning, it's a long-term process and we can't rush it. And we have to really take our time with young girls based on their phase of development. So maybe they're 8 years old, they should be playing, they should be having a lot of fun with training. And then we can get a little bit more serious in those high school years and start to do the heavier lifts and more advanced movements. So I'm just trying to tell parents, hey, this is a process. This is not a quick fix service where you just kind of show up as you go. This is a whole pathway. And I really want you to commit to it to see those results in the end. So, yeah, I love what I do and I feel like it's not work. I do coach a lot. I pretty much work Monday through Saturdays, but I fall in love with it more each year.
Now, we're going to talk about, the coaching in the next segment. I'm going to go ahead and jump ahead. You've also, and again, you're on podcasts, you have your own website, but you also are the author of two, very successful books on, training female athletes. Can you talk a little bit about how those came about? And then, of course, how can our listeners, get their own copy?
So I've always been a writer. I started in the online space over 10 years ago, just blogging every day on girls soccer training, speed, strength, and conditioning. And I didn't skip a beat. I showed up, I blogged as much as I could, and I just fell in love with writing and getting the message out. And then I forget when I released the first book. I think it was 2021 or 22. And I was just like, wow, there really isn't a book out there for youth female athletes and performance and injuries. Like, I'm really shocked there's no resource on this because it's so needed to help parents with injuries and performance and to also help coaches and athletic directors learn about the female athlete and kind of what's going on during her growth spurt and adolescent years and how the female body's different with hormones or just the mindset side of things. So I was like, man, I really need to write a book. So I wrote it very fast because I was just so excited about it, about getting this information out there. And I wrote it in less than a year. And then it released in December, I think, of 2021 or 22. And then the second book is just a bigger piece of work. It's more of a textbook. There's a lot of updates with the research in there and just a few things I kind of tweaked with my first book. I think the science is always evolving and it's evolving fast with female athletes. There's new research coming out every day. So I had to update it in my new book, Female Athlete High Performance. So that book is way more in depth, much more updated. There's workout programs in there. There's sample like recovery and meal plans. So just really wanted a tool for parents and coaches just to execute these things. Because the truth is, not everyone can work with me. Not everyone can do my remote programs. Not everyone can be in Tampa, Florida for in-person coaching. So I just figured this book would just be an easy resource and a very affordable one for them to work through a lot of these things on their own.
We're going to do this at the end of the podcast, but let's do it right now. Where can they find the books? I'm guessing on Amazon and other outlets. Go ahead and give the names of each book because I think it's important they have both. And then also, if somebody wants to reach out and connect with you, find out more about your services, how do they get in touch with Erica Mulholland?
Both books are on Amazon. So the first one is The Strong Female Athlete, and then the second book is Female Athlete High Performance. And I'm mainly hanging out on actually my podcast, to be honest. I'm not, yes, I'll post on social media sometimes, but I have it automated. I have help with it. I don't like being on there as much myself. So my podcast is called The Strong Female Athlete Podcast, so named after my first book, and that is only on YouTube. I keep things very simple. I like to have everything in one place and not overcomplicate it.
Yeah. And there's some great episodes on that podcast. So The Strong Female Athlete, make sure you check it out. And Erica Mulholland on Amazon. We're going to take another break. I know that's shocking to our regular listeners, but we're going to be right back with more. So please stay with us. This is the Educational AD Podcast. We'd like to thank our good friends at Home Campus for their support of the podcast. Home Campus is one of those platforms you're going to use every single day. It's the official management and administration platform for the Florida High School Athletic Association. But schedules, results, rosters, communication, for me, the athletic eligibility and clearance platform alone was the gold standard. You really got to see it to believe it. To find out more, just go to homecampus.com. Don't forget to mention the podcast, homecampus.com. We also want to say thanks to our friends at Gipper. Go to Gipper.com and let their team help you become a social media expert. Your kids are on social media, and if they're not seeing content that celebrates their accomplishments and promotes your program, you're missing out on a great opportunity. Go to Gipper.com. It's so easy, even I can do it. Whether it's a simple social media post to celebrate a victory or an entire newsletter to showcase all the great things that your department's doing, the team at Gipper will have you up and running in no time. That's Gipper.com. We also want to say thank you to Vital Signs Wall of Fame. If you're looking for a really cool way to display your school record boards or your school's Hall of Fame, go to Vital Signs Wall of Fame and take a look at their interactive touchscreen. That's right, touchscreen video consoles. You put one of their units in your gym lobby, in your main school hallway, it's going to be a magnet for kids and coaches, but also teachers, parents. How about sponsors and alums? Go to vitalsignswalloffame.com. Check out their great products today. And of course, don't forget to mention the podcast, vitalsignswalloffame.com. Hey, welcome back, everybody, to the Educational AD Podcast. Eric, in addition to the books, and probably part of the books, you work extensively as a coach, particularly for girls, individually, groups, etc., both in person and remote. Can you share a little bit, again, about all of the services that you provide, and again, how parents or ADs or coaches can find out more?
Sure. So I do a couple of services. My first ones are the coaching services. So in person in Tampa, Florida, it's all small group training because one-on-ones, it's not as beneficial, especially if we're doing speed and conditioning. I like to have girls race against each other and be competitive and in that environment. So it's all small group training, but it is based on age group. So I will never have an 8-year-old training with one of my college girls because our curriculum is a lot different. Just like the education system, training is the same. So I structure all of it on age groups. And then the strength training is very individualized. So when we're in the gym, every single girl is on a different program because you have some girls who are brand new to the gym, and then you have other girls who have been in the gym for 5, 6 years. So they're definitely lifting a lot heavier and doing more advanced things. So it's very customized based on each athlete. But what I really love about the small group training is just the community aspect. And a lot of the girls I work with, they're all on different club teams, they're from different towns. But when they come to me, they all become really good friends, which is just such a cool part of my job to see. And then I have my remote training, which I do for individual athletes as well as teams. So I write high school and college team in season and off season programs, and then individual athletes. And within that, some girls just want the program and then be left alone, but then some girls need the accountability. So there's more like Zoom check-in options and just being a little bit higher touch as a coach because it is remote training. So some girls do need that extra communication. So I really customize that. And then the last thing that I've been doing a lot more of is speaking at high schools. So last year I spoke out in Wisconsin, and then recently I went to a high school in Orlando, Florida to speak to the female athlete teams as well as their parents. So anytime I can get out to a school, so all the ADs listening, I'm always open to coming to speak. I love speaking to athletes and their parents because I think with a lot of this stuff, performance training, recovery, nutrition, the parents have to be in the conversation. So anytime I can get everyone in the same room and talk about a topic, it's just so powerful and so much fun. So I really love doing those events.
Oh no, absolutely, and you're absolutely right. The athletic directors are listening right now. They're always looking for a great speaker to come in, either a coaches meeting, a parent meeting, a kickoff. We'll give out that contact information again for Erica at the end of the show. But check out her podcast on YouTube. Um, can you, of all the individuals or teams, groups that you've worked with, can you pick out maybe one or two? I like to call them success stories. I know they're all success stories, but maybe share a little bit about how the program, and whether it was skill or education or strength or all the things that you work on, share one, at least one story that really sticks out in your mind of the power that these programs can have for an individual.
Mhm. Oh man, there's some really good ones, and I don't always say it's all, my girls that have gone D1 or played at the top schools. Sometimes it's the girls that just go on to get a good education and become doctors or lawyers, and they keep exercise a part of their busy lives. I think that is such a big win. But I always have to bring up this one girl because she was one of my first clients ever. She started training with me when she was 12, I think 13 years old, and I saw her all the way through college, and she was just one of those girls that was just so resilient and just always did the work on her own. I mean, as much as I want to credit that I like quote unquote built this athlete, I didn't. I really just gave her the tools that she needed and she executed them and she stuck with it. And her consistency was so amazing. And she ended up playing soccer at UNC, which is one of the biggest soccer powerhouses in college. So it was really cool to see her do that. But she really worked hard on her strength, her nutrition, being diligent with her recovery, getting touches on the ball. And she also was a really good student. And I always try to tell my girls, look, soccer will take some of you very far. If you're lucky enough to play at the D1 level and then go pro, that's incredible. But you have to really focus on your academics and you have to have something else going for you. And this girl really took that to heart and she was a straight A student, like crushed her SATs and she put in the work. And UNC is a hard school to get into. I mean, when you put soccer aside, it is very difficult. So, yeah, she was a great success story and then she went to play pro for a women's club team in Ireland.
Oh, wow.
Now she's also coaching and working full time. Like she's just a beast. So I'm just super proud of her and just it's just great to see her doing so well. But yeah, there's a lot of those stories, but I really think I think a lot of us strength coaches like try to take credit for those high level athletes, but I don't think we built them. I think a lot of it was their own hard work and also really good genetics, and not a lot of strength coaches are willing to admit that.
No, again, you're absolutely right. Again, we would always, I'd always try to share with my coaches, because one of my mentors shared this with me. Any knucklehead can coach an all-star team. It takes a real coach, a real teacher, a leader, a motivator to take, those average kids that we see every day and help them become better, whatever that is, good, better, best, all American. But yeah, you're absolutely right. We try to help them become the best that they can be. We're going to take another quick break. We got a couple more segments coming up, including the toolbox, but please stay with us. We're going to be right back. This is the Educational AD Podcast. We want to say thank you to Ohio University and their online masters in athletic administration. Now, I didn't get my master's degree from Ohio University, but my assistant athletic director did, along with thousands of others, and it was a great experience. It's very affordable, just 20 months, totally online. And while you're earning your master's degree, you're also completing 11 NIAAA leadership training courses at no extra charge. Check out Ohio University's online masters in athletic administration. We also want to say thank you to our good friends at Hometown. Hometown is not just online ticketing. Go to hometown.com and check out all the ways that they have become a game changer for schools and organizations with their suite of solutions that include things like digital ticketing, but also fee-free fundraising, athletic website construction, and a whole lot more. Whether you're an athletic director, a head coach, or a school administrator, Hometown is making it easy for you and your school to save time, to raise more money, and bring your entire community together. For more information, just go to hometown.com. That's hometown.com. And as always, don't forget to mention the podcast. Hey, welcome back, everybody. We're going to do, I think this could be the first in well over 600 interviews. We're going to do a toolbox times two. This first little segment, Erica is going to share 3 tips, 3 tools, if you will, for a brand new coach. And then we'll come back at the end of the show and she'll do 3 tips for a brand new AD. So, Erica, based on your experience, very successful playing career, junior high, travel ball, high school, 3-time All-American in college, semi-pro athlete, and now working with athletes and coaches. What are 3 tips that you would want to give to a brand new coach?
Okay, so I have 2 main ones off the top of my head, so I might expand on them. But the first one is for any new coaches thinking that coaching is going to be easy and you're going to have a work-life balance. You are wrong. I'm sorry. I mean, you just don't get into coaching like, thinking you're going to have your weekends and all this time off. And I think like if that's why you want to get into it, you probably shouldn't get into coaching. I think you should really just change your perspective on, okay, how can I make this a part of my life? And instead of work-life balance, I like to call it work-life integration and just realizing, okay, why am I doing this in the first place? And coaching is really about service. It's not really about you. So you probably will be working long hours. You probably will have to show up for your athletes on a Saturday or Sunday. And it just is the career that you chose. But I think if you can just come at it from, okay, I'm grateful I get to do this. I'm grateful I get to serve and work with the next generation of athletes and leave an impact. I think it makes it a lot easier. And it's really all about perspective. But yeah, if you get into it for the wrong reasons, it's not going to be a sustainable career. I've been doing this for 13 years, and you would think that the longer I do this, I would have more time off. I actually don't. But that's okay. I've learned that I love the new projects that I'm doing, the things that I'm building, and the courses and the speaking engagements and all these cool things I get to do to just get the message out there. Yes, am I working on a Saturday sometimes? Absolutely, but it's something that I've learned to accept because I just realize this is about service and it's not really about me. And then the second thing is don't get into coaching if you want to please everyone because you are not going to make everyone happy. I mean, you are dealing with so many different people. You're dealing with not only different personalities and the kids that you're coaching, and you have to get through to them, but you're also dealing with their parents, and their parents are the ones who are paying for your team or for your training, and you have to deliver a valuable service, and it does kind of keep you on your toes, and it can feel like a lot of pressure, but just do your best to stay in your own coaching philosophy, do what's best for the kids, not necessarily always what the parents want. And in performance training, a lot of parents want to have speed training a certain way, especially for the younger age groups. But I have to really educate parents that it's different for our 8 to 12-year-olds, but eventually they'll be doing the cool speed drills you see on social media. So I think you just have to just be educational about it. And some people will buy into it and they'll understand. And then some people you might not win over, and you have to be okay with that too. I think I've just learned to accept that not everyone is going to be on board with my athletic development philosophy. And that's okay. So I think those are my two main ones. Definitely don't think work-life balance is a thing. And then you can't please everyone in coaching, so stop trying to.
Well, those are two, spot on tools for coaches and for ADs, believe it or not. Tremendous application. I love the way that you articulated them and gave those real world examples. You're absolutely right. I've heard other people, it's not work-life balance, but and integration is a great word. I've heard other people say work-life compromise
Yeah.
because if it is a balance, you're going to get fired because it's never going to be a balance. You got to do the job.
Yeah.
Let's
And
go and take.
I would add on to that too. If you are married to a spouse, I mean, you have to be with someone who understands the lifestyle. I think it takes a certain wife or husband to understand the life of a coach. I got lucky that I married a coach myself, so he gets it. But then, there's some non-coaches who do understand, and they do such a great job of being that support system and just that outside perspective. So I think you have to be with someone who understands that, and you're a team together. And if you have kids, you figure it out and you make that time, because you can still make that time, but you still have to like be really diligent with how you plan things.
Yeah. No, again, more great wisdom there. I was also very fortunate. I married a coach and Hall of Fame coach, and she
Yeah.
gets it. But yeah, the communication and working with each other, scheduling kids, all that stuff, you hit it right on the head. Erica, this has been so cool connecting with you and hearing more about your program, but we're not done yet. We always wrap up, as I said, with our athletic director toolbox segment. You're not an AD, but you certainly know your way around the world of athletics. We're going to take our final break, hear from Athletic Surveys, who sponsor this segment. When we come back, I'm going to let you send out a brand new AD, but I'm only going to let you put 3 tools in the toolbox. So let's take that break. And when we come back, we'll hear what Erica puts in her new athletic director toolbox. We want to say thanks to Athletic Surveys for sponsoring the AD Toolbox segment. Athletic directors already get feedback, but a lot of times it's from a very small group that just wants to complain. Athletic Surveys is going to connect you to that group so you can hear their issues and address their problems before they turn into something big. But they're also going to connect you to the 98% of your stakeholders that support your program. And having that type of positive data, it's incredibly valuable, especially when you're visiting with that frustrated parent or maybe your principal or even your school board. Go to athleticsurveys.com. They're going to create a custom survey that lets you take the pulse of everybody in your program. That's athleticsurveys.com. Check them out today. Well, it's that time of the podcast. We've been visiting today with Erica Mulholland. Tremendous background as an athlete, as a coach, as a leader. But right now, I'm going to challenge her to send out a brand new athletic director on their first job. But I'm only going to let her put 3 tools in the toolbox. So, Erica, you shared your tools for success for a new coach. What do you have for our athletic directors? What 3 things are going to go into your new athletic director toolbox?
Yeah, so even though I haven't worked as an athletic director, I have had enough conversations on a daily basis with parents and high school athletes. So I really understand what parents like and what they don't like. So the first one I would say is really just develop that sense of community with all of your teams. Get the parents involved in everything. It could be speaking series or just fun game nights and just having that connection with everyone involved in the community and making them feel like a part of something and proud of their school. The second, I would say, just kind of to expand on that, is to really get to know the athletes of all the teams, not just seeing them as, a soccer player or a basketball player, but really getting to know who they are as a student, or as maybe a band a student, or going to their concerts and supporting, just fun ways to get involved in all the athletes that are in your program and just seeing them beyond sport. And then the last one, and this really comes from a lot of my conversations with parents, but just making sure that you are supporting and getting behind all sports teams. And I've had a lot of frustration from parents. Oh, the AD just cares about the football team. They don't care about the girls teams or the golf team that's losing all the time. I think as an AD, you have to champion all teams, even if it's a losing team or maybe not as popular of a sport. Show up to everyone's sports games, cheer them on. Again, coming back to number 2, getting to know the athletes from all the sports, not just being that AD that's obsessed with the football team who has won states every year. I remember my AD in high school, he was a football guy, but he came to all the girls' soccer games. He came to the girls' lacrosse games and he showed his face and he was supportive. So that was something that really stuck out to me and just really made us like respect him and just love him as a leader. So I think those are my top 3.
Though those are all 3 of our most frequently mentioned tools for a new athletic director. So you are on the right track of leadership success. And again, coach or AD, those are things that you really should have in your toolbox. Erica, thanks again for coming on and sharing with our listeners. One more time, if one of our listeners wants to reach out, find out more about your program and your services, or purchase your books, and listeners, you got a great resource here. What's the best way they can get in touch with Erica Mulholland?
Yeah, I would just start at the podcast, the Strong Female Athlete podcast. You'll see all of my links, the books right there on the homepage. It's on YouTube, or you can just shoot me an email, fitsoccerqueen@gmail.com.
Okay. And that's fitsoccerqueen@gmail.com. I love that handle. Erica, all the best moving forward. You're here in Tampa, so we got to connect. I'm going to throw this out. I don't know if it's on your calendar. The National Athletic Directors Conference is going to be in Tampa in
Oh,
December. Maybe we can get you connected with some people, and you can maybe even present there. Okay.
that would be amazing. I love presenting.
Okay.
Yeah.
For our listeners, we want to say thanks to you and just remind you that we upload the Zoom recordings of every interview to the Educational AD podcast on YouTube. We do this just about every day. We listen to stories from the world of athletics, and we also share best practices. So hopefully you'll come back and join us again on another episode of the Educational AD Podcast. Have a great day.